Hey guys, SuperHorrorBro Mike here, and in today's video we are checking out the very first teaser image for Poppy Playtime Chapter 5. Now this dropped yesterday. I didn't want to upload it yesterday as I had just put up my story explain video for Little Nightmares 3, literally about 10 minutes before this dropped. So if you enjoy Little Nightmares content or just story explained videos, that's up on the channel right now. I'll leave a link at the end of this video to that. But getting back to what we're talking about today in this video, we had the first teaser for Poppy Playtime Chapter 5, as well as a little post from Zach Bellinger, the CEO of Mob Entertainment, which I'm going to read to you as well, or at least for part of it pertaining to Chapter 5. We get a little bit of information about where Chapter 5's headed in that post. So without further ado guys, let's dive into the teaser image first. As you can see, there's not too much going on here. In the background, we have these poppy flowers and a dark red light. It's ominous, lots of reds and blacks. You know, red and black generally signifies death, as well as, of course, the color of a poppy flower. So it's kind of interesting lighting choices here and color choices. And that's, of course, the room we see at the end of Poppy Playtime Chapter 4. In the foreground, though, we see the prototype's hand, and in the palm of his hand, we see Poppy's face, or at least the shell of her face, like the mask that goes over her eyes. Her head is all cracked and broken, and her eyes are obviously black. There is no life to them. So it seems almost like it's suggesting that she is killed. Now, at the end of Chapter 4, if you'll remember, Poppy kind of abandoned us and Kissy Missy, even though Kissy is like her closest friend, still alive after Ollie's passing. But she abandoned us because the prototype was coming for her, and she just thought, no, I've got to stay alive. I've got to try and stay safe and complete my plan. It seems the prototype is something that brings her a lot of trauma, a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, and so she flees. And I think Chapter 5 is probably going to be our journey to save Poppy and reunite with her, save her from the prototype's grasp, as this teaser image seems to imply here. It could also signify that she is going to be killed by the prototype, and much like Ollie, she's going to be amalgamated into him so he can mimic her voice and basically just fuse with her to become even more powerful, because it seems Poppy is like one of the more powerful beings in this sort of facility now. Of course, Poppy had a plan, which was to blow up the facility, kill the prototype and everything else within the building, and make sure that the plans and the experimentation and the research done at Playtime Co. never saw the light of day, and nobody was able to escape into the world outside. I don't know if that plan's going to come to fruition, but of course, that is what Chapter 5 is going to be about, saving Poppy and trying to execute on that plan that she laid out in Chapter 4. There's not too much to say about the teaser image, guys, but you've seen it now and I've talked a little bit about it. Now we're going to go over to the CEO of Mob Entertainment, Zach Bellinger, and see what he says about Chapter 5 and what we can expect there. So this is a quote from Zach. As we look ahead, the story of Playtime Co. is reaching new heights. What's coming next will be the most ambitious, most immersive chapter in the Poppy Playtime universe, crafted with more passion, care, and imagination than ever before. Mob Entertainment has evolved a lot over the last 4 years, and we can truly say Chapter 5 is going to be the best yet. Thank you for believing, for screaming, for playing, and for being part of this incredible journey. So there we go guys, Chapter 5 is going to be the most ambitious, most immersive chapter yet, crafted with even more passion, care, and imagination than ever before, and that actually is reassuring because I remember playing Chapter 4 at launch and I thought it was a great chapter, but they launched it too early. That game was patched for about 2 months after launch, and the version of Chapter 4 that you play now is very different to the one we all played at launch. There's new cutscenes, better AI, new hint systems, visual enhancements. Everything that should have been there day one and wasn't is now in the game, and it was added within the few months after it released. So this time I really hope they take their time. If they've got a target release date, let's hypothetically say it was May of next year. If they get to May and they think this needs a few more months, I really hope they just delay it a few months. Basically cook until it's ready. Because last time they released something that was half-baked, and I really wish they hadn't, because Chapter 4 was an amazing chapter, probably one of my favorites. And the fact that it came out in the state it did with all the bugs and the unfinished, unpolished cutscenes and stuff was just a bit of a shame. So really I hope this time they are being really truthful here. They're going to take the time that they need to make sure it's perfect. It's interesting that they say it's the most ambitious and immersive chapter, because Chapter 4 was hugely ambitious. There was loads going on there. It was about 4 hours long. There were multiple boss fights, multiple big enemy encounters, a ton of variety in the gameplay, and lots of different locations, long cutscenes. It's interesting, like, to see what they mean by more ambitious and immersive, like, because Chapter 4 already felt like almost like a full game in its own right. I will say though, it's interesting to speculate, is this going to be the final chapter, or are they going to go like with 6 chapters maybe? Because if you remember when they released the console bundle, they released chapters 1, 2, and 3 all together. So I'm wondering if there's going to be like 6 chapters, and then the second half of that bundle will be chapters 4, 5, and 6. Usually these episodic mascot horror games do have 5 chapters, but it could be they're deciding to go with 6 chapters to mix it up, and this isn't going to be the final one, although seeing the prototype holding Poppy's face like that does suggest to me this might be the end of the story, at least for the first entry in the franchise. But with that said guys, we've taken a look at the new teaser image for Poppy Playtime Chapter 5, and a little word from the developers about what we can expect from it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what your thoughts are on Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 and what you want to see from it in the comments section below. Of course, leave a like if you did enjoy this video, and subscribe for more horror related content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.